Hello, guys. Welcome back to AWMFX. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, no matter where you are. So, hopefully, you guys are in good health and, of course, health and wealth, earning a lot of money from the market. All right, so I have shared a video on the high risk QML, right? The 8 types of high risk QML pattern that I usually try to avoid. All right. So today I'm gonna share with you the low risk QML. All right, the low risk QML. All right. So the first type of low risk QML that I'm gonna share with you is that let me draw it over here. So what happened was that we all know what is RBS SPR, correct? Support become resistance, resistance becomes support, and then we are hoping the price will drop. So this is SPR. All right, S become R over here. So what I'm going to share with you with a QLM type is that you can call it as a confirmation. All right. So what happened is that you already identified your SBR RBS. You look for a drop base drop over here. Right? A drop base drop candle, or we call it the supply zone over here. So if you flip it over, it will be the demand zone, right? So for now, let's stick to this. So what is the message that I'm gonna share with you is that let's assume that this is in a big time frame, all right, like the day chart or the week chart. So of course you cut, and then you cannot get any good point to reduce your stop loss because in day or week it will be very huge. So what you want to do is that you wait for the price to reach this area, all right? And then in lower time frame, you look for QML at this area. All right, you look for QML at this area and then you sell according, or you make your trade according to the QML to the downside. All right, to the downside, even to this level. All right, even to this level, it will be very profitable because your stop loss will be reduced. Right, so I'm going to show you an example later. So the other thing is I want to tell you is that this kind of trade is very low risk. One of the reasons is that because it is following the trend. All right, we already heard a lot of time from other YouTuber or mentor. The trend is your friend, right? The trend is your friend. So in higher time frame is in the low, is going downtrend, all right, bearish trend. Then you find a very strong support, sorry, strong supply, and the price come to this area, make a KML, and then sell it off. Right. So let's give you an example over here. Right. So right here, I want to show you something. So we know the price is coming down, right? It's in a downtrend, right? And then we have a very strong supply over here, right? Basically, if you look at it, yeah, there is some protruding out. But this area, there is a lot of rejection, XSR, right? SSR, a lot of rejection along this line. And you know that the risk, you look at it, the risk is 50 over pips. Are you going to willing to take this risk? No, right? A lot of us not going to take it. Even myself, I won't take it. So what happens is that I will wait for the price to come to this area, all right? And then I'll go into small time frame, example like M30 or M15 or even M5. And then you wait. And then you'll see that, let me get this. I forget which one is the line, which one is the box, right? So this is the line. Get the line out. All right, sorry for that. So you wait for the price to enter your zone, right? You wait for the price to enter your zone. So once the price enter your zone, right, you see that it's making a higher high. But the problem here is that the price is getting, the momentum is getting slower and slower. And then suddenly the price break. all right, break your low, but does not touch your initial move that push this price to upside, correct? Then you look for QML, MPL, the same process, right? You make the same process, fresh zone, and this will be a zero float trade. Your risk from 50 something pips, you have been reduced to 20 pips or more than half, right? Zero float and the price drops. So understand this concept. This will be the first example of low risk QML. I'm going to share the second one. All right, so the second type of QML is combination of QML and trendline, right? So I'll make a drawing over here, the reverse drawing, right? The example I'm going to show you is something like this. So you can see the price is making high high and higher low, all right? All right. So what happened is that you need to place your trend line, right? You need to place your trend line, and coincidentally, this area, right? Let me get this out. Coincidentally, this line over here, that is a QML, something like this. Something like this, right? So what happens is that you're aiming for the price to come down to this area, all right? And then you make a buy, right? So if you invert it, it will be something like this. It's along the trend line. So this will be a low risk QML, right? Follow the trend. Okay, let's look at the example over here. So this is the example, right? So if you can see, the price is going along the trend line, right? So the price is making high high, higher low, high high. No, this one is low high, low, lower high, lower low. All right. So the price came down and then pushed back up. All right, break the trend line and then come back down, and then so anticipate the price to push and then make a buy over here, right? So this is your another type of QML. So you can see that the price is actually reacting to this part over here. And how do you make a confirmation with this kind of setup is that always go into higher time frame, all right? Always go to higher time frame, and then you'll see something very special, right? So, right. So in this trade, you can see that it's making a doji before the push to upside, right? So this is your confirmation, right? This will be your confirmation. So this will be an excellent QML trade. All right. So hopefully you guys understand. This is another low risk QML trade. All right. So the last QML. All right. So QML, actually the concept is very very simple, right? The price comes back. Let's assume something like this, right? And then drop. All right. So this is QML, right? This is a type of QML. So what happens is that when the price break, all right, when the price break this area, right? Let's change it to other color. When the price break this area, you look for another small movement over here, right? look for another small movement over here. That spike up before it drops in the lower time frame. All right, in this movement. So this will be my perfect QML. All right, not only that. So if you switch it to a higher time frame, what does this looks like? All right, let me change some of the color. This looks like this. All right, and then over here, it will looks like this. Right. So this movement will looks like this. The candles, right, in the candle form. So this is a strong supply zone. All right, a very strong supply zone. So you must look for this kind of pattern. All right, so I'll give you an example over here. So what we have is that we have same head over here, the shoulder, sorry, same shoulder. And the price is moving higher, high, higher, low, high, high, and then before the drop. All right, ultimate before the drop. That breaks this area. But it does not touch the zone over here. Right? So it comes back, slowly climbing back. Now, of course, if you look at the price action, right, you have to be aware of the price action. So we have fake out. We have fake out. All right, price comes back to this zone and then drop. The real drop. All right. So what kind of confirmation can we get over here? Okay, you switch it to a higher time frame. Maybe day one. Right. So day one, you can see that the price is actually reacting to this zone. This zone. This zone. So you guys remember that what kind of supply zone is my favorite? These two candle. All right. You can see that the whole candle, the whole bearish candle over here engulf the bullish candle, engulf by the body and the shadow, everything inside. So this is a signal that the price might be dropping. Okay, so you have to remember this is day chart. Even a small or a single candle drop is very huge in lower time frame, right? It is very huge in lower time frame. So this is the example of how you should trade your QML low risk. Right? Confirmation, 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 and this looks perfect. This looks perfect QML. Right? This is a perfect QML. We fake out everything. Line is not straight. Fake out, and then the price drop. Right? This is huge. This drop over here is huge. I'll say. It's very, very huge. All the way. All right. So hopefully you guys get some tips, and I'm not trying to confuse you guys on trading QML. So my only advice to you guys is that actually QML pattern keeps on repeating itself again and again and again and again, right? But the problem is that sometimes when I draw in line shape, it looks perfect or it looks nice or and neat. So the problem with you guys is that once you see a QML, you straight away go in. So that is not the correct way. The most correct way is that you need to go back test it. All right, when you see a QML that drops, that have a huge drop, you look at the pattern, you look at the characteristic. Why does this thing happen? All right, or which time frame actually it does obey more at? Right, I've explained about this concept in one of my previous video. Every currency pair or every this one called the gold or the silver, it has its special time frame that it uh, obey more. All right, it's obey more. So you'll have to look at that. You have to look at this concept, and then you have to be very familiar with the currency pair that you want to trade. I just advise try not to trade all 28 pairs. Focus on just a few, maybe three or four, five or six, depends on you. For me, I only trade gold, right? So I know what every movement of the gold. And the other thing is that go back and find confirmation in higher time frame. All right, I've shown you in one of the videos. Always go back into a higher time frame. That this is what we call as a multiple time frame analysis, right? And then once you saw that kind of pattern, all right, once you saw a confirmation, screenshot, all right, trading view screenshot, very easy. Just this button over here. This is what. Take a snapshot and then save your image, right? So once you have all this kind of pattern, all right, either the sell pattern or the buy pattern, you keep it in a folder. So whenever the same pattern occurring, okay, it appears, you when you're not sure, go back to your archive and then look for that the file that you have saved and see is there any similarity with what you have backtested previously. From there, you gain your confidence and experience, and definitely you will know when to pull the trigger for the sell or the buy. All right. So hopefully this video helps you guys. Not a lot, but a bit. And if you like the video, please give me a like and do subscribe to the channel. All right. So that's all for today. So see you guys next time. Bye.